I have completely stopped riding my Surron, which is crazy because this is a bike I used to ride every single day. I did the math and it has been 6 months since I've touched this bike. Look how bad this is, dude. There's literally dust. Ronald deserves better. And today is the perfect day to clean him up and bring him back to life because he is part of a very exciting announcement.
Shake it, show no. Just got paid, mama, what's up? I'm too blessed, no love. I'm way
Look how awful this is. There's just grime in all of the seals.
Tonight, which one of y'all boys would tonight? Might just do a little.
Look at all that. Ew.
Like ABC, count digits like 1, 2, 3. Want the benefits, just say please. Want to talk to the boss, you can send them straight up to me.
Unfortunately, there are a lot of reasons I kind of stopped riding this bike. But for anyone who doesn't know Ronald, this is Ronald. He's a 2022 Light BX, basically fully built except for the battery right now, which I'll talk about in a second. Old school Fox 40s, Fox DHX with a 550-pound spring in the back, Warp 9 3/4-inch linkage and triangle, Warp 9 peg brackets and peg support, Warp 9 54 tooth rear sprocket, Amazon pegs, I think. This imported gold and black arcade chain. That's maybe the biggest flex on my bike. Shinko 244s, back 4000, hit and run stem, Deity 35mm bars, TRP DHR Evos with Rip and Moto 250mm rotors, and what everybody asks about, the KTM seat. I covered how I made this seat in a separate build video. Oh my god, dude, look how dirty it is under here. Basically, I made this custom titanium bracket. You can tell it's titanium because it's blue. That mounted a KTM latch, so the whole thing latches nice and securely. Gut seat cover on top, so I don't slip off the back and die. Oh, and a Socin motor. And yes, this is all on a stock battery, an unbypassed battery. And I did that for a few reasons, but that's also one of the reasons I don't really ride this bike much. Last, but certainly not least, is the Super Project wrap, which you can get now on superproject.com. This is my new brand of wraps. I felt like vinyl wraps for Sur-Rons and e-rides are totally lacking. I just dropped 16 unique colors for e-rides and for Sur-Rons. You can get those at superproject.com right now, and let me know in the comments what bike you want me to develop a wrap for next. Should it be like a Stark Varg? Thank you for everyone's patience as I got this business up and running. I tried to get the prices down as low as I could so everyone can have a cool wrap for their bike if they want. I think the coolest part is that you can get the optional sparkle, which gives it a really cool subtle shimmer in the sun. Anyway, enough gabbing, let's go rip this Surron. Oh man, first ride on Ronald in a long time. Starting to remember why I like this bike. I'm headed to the secret trails we've been working on in the woods. Maybe we'll hit a couple jumps. You're good. Good. Oh, thank you. That's really where Sur-Rons excel, I think. Just stepping back on it for the first time after riding my e-ride for so long, this thing is light. You can even, I can even bunny hop it. That's crazy. I can bunny hop my e-ride, but only like that far off the ground. That's so cool. Oh my god, dude, this thing feels like a mountain bike compared to my e-ride. Whoa! A huge part of the reason I stopped riding this bike, and actually a huge part of the reason I still love this bike, is the battery. This is an unbypassed stock battery. I think the bike only has about 6 kilowatts. Oh, good. They put logs here so we can't ride. You know what the crazy part is? This would make a pretty sick lip. Take off right there. Build a landing on the other side of this. Could be the move. I don't know. Luckily, we got some other secret spots. It's all good. The thing about a Sur-Ron with a stock battery, it's super duper playful. Like, you can just throw the whole bike around. My E-Ride Pro also feels playful, but it's got a bigger battery, a heavier controller, heavier frame. So for just like messing around and doing kind of jibby stuff, the Sur-Ron is so fun. The downside, obviously, is that it's not 72 volt, and it's got, I think, literally half the power of my E-Ride. Yo, who is that? Yo, is that a Tutio? Oh, it looks, did you powder coat it?
I just spray painted it.
Dude, it looks sick. What's up?
That's good.
What's your name? Nice to meet you, I'm Logan.
Logan Taylor?
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Oh shit, I follow you on TikTok.
Oh yeah? Oh nice. Oh, I haven't uploaded to TikTok in a while, my bad.
Me and my friends, we made this track. We hit that, go around, and then go down that hill, and it's like a crazy jump.
Here, you show me how it's done.
I bet.
Dang, I can't keep up with this guy. What? Under the, dang, what is this, Narnia?
That's like one of my favorite jumps here.
When'd you get the Tutio?
Like a few months ago.
It's sick. I like that you're like building it up and customizing it.
Paint it like blue, and then paint these like chrome. It'll be like a mini Surron.
That'd be super sick.
Thinking about buying a Surron battery pretty soon because this battery's pretty bad.
Can you put a Surron battery in that?
Yeah.
Oh.
I have to switch the connector. It's perfect.
That's crazy. I didn't know that. I don't know anything about Tutios.
You should make a video on one.
Is it relatively quick out of the box?
It was 37, and then I got a dongle, and it goes like 45.
Dang.
It might be gapping your Surron.
Great to meet you, bro. Oh God, here, let's redo that. Let's redo that. Good to see you. Honestly, I don't really mind not having a bunch of power. It's not really about going fast. Actually, I don't really like going fast at all. Honestly, I know this sounds boring, but it's more about the range for me. Like, I just want to ride and explore, and on this stock battery, I only go like, 20 miles. Yo, I have not been to the skate park in forever. Also, since my battery isn't bypassed, that means that sometimes if I push the bike a little too hard, the BMS, which is the brain of the battery, will actually shut the bike down to protect itself from drawing too much power. Then I have to turn off the bike, turn it back on, wait like 10 seconds for the whole thing to reboot, and there's no worse feeling than being on a group ride with your friends, your bike cuts out, and no one notices that you aren't with them. Also, at a certain point, when all of your friends have 72-volt bikes, it gets kind of hard to keep up on a group ride. Having to go max throttle all the time, I just don't really like that. And around the time I was about to buy a 72-volt battery, I got the E-Ride Pro. And I had everything that I wanted out of a 72-volt bike, just in a different bike with a new frame. And that's kind of when I stopped riding the Surron a lot. Which brings me to my next point about what I don't love about the Surron compared to my E-Ride Pro. The bike is really light, but it's also not as sturdy. You can feel the flex in the swing arm. I don't have as much confidence going big on it. Like, I'm not afraid that the frame is gonna break, but there's something subconscious about feeling like your bike has your back, you know? The Surron feels solid, it feels dialed, but by comparison, the E-Ride Pro just feels more substantial, and it's also slightly bigger, which is perfect for me, because I'm about 6'3", 6'4". These bikes are already pretty tiny for me, and the E-Ride Pro fits me a little bit better, quite honestly. Excuse me, geese. Excuse me, geese. Oh, geez, acting like they own the place. Damn. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Excuse me. Just coming through. Don't worry about me. Let's see how much battery I have. This is the other thing. With this seat, I can't check how much battery I have without doing this whole thing. Okay, 88%. Honestly, not bad. Better than I was expecting. But this Socin motor tends to drain the battery super fast. And I feel like having a Socin motor and a back 4000 with a totally stock battery, it's not that it's bad, but it, this is really a setup that should be used with some sort of upgraded battery, and not having that just made me not want to ride it as much, On top of all this, I can only ride one bike at a time, right? So if I have one bike that's 72 volt that I can use to get around and do one-wheel tricks and also go ride trails, convincing myself to spend $2,500 to upgrade the battery in this bike, it's a tough sell when I can spend $2,500 on so many other fun, cool things. I do have a major soft spot for this bike because of this place, Seattle Boat Co. When I hurt myself on this bike and was in a boot for like 6 months, all I could really do was make YouTube shorts. I couldn't do any crazy riding or anything like that. And one night on the way to the gym outside Seattle Boat Co., there was a massive tilt trailer set up like a perfect jump right here. That was the first video I made with this bike that got like a ton of views. I think it got like 22 million views or something stupid, and everyone was pissed at me for not going off the jump with a huge boot on my broken foot. Like, there was no way I was gonna jump it. But this bike has been at the core of my channel since that day, so I don't think I'll ever be able to fully get rid of it. I will sell basically everything else I own before I sell this bike. And it begs the question, should I get a 72-volt battery? Maybe I could build this thing into like a dirt track ripper, like maybe a big 1821 wheel set, keep it light and playful, but just for dirt. I don't know what to do with it. If you have ideas, please tell me in the comments, because my E-Ride does a lot of stuff so well. It's hard to find a place for this to fit in the lineup. Oh my gosh, this is literally right where I fell and broke my ankle. It's a scary memory, but also if I hadn't done that, I probably never would have done this YouTube thing in the way that I am now. So in a weird way, I'm really grateful that I hurt myself, I guess. He's really eyeing me up, dude. I'm not doing anything, don't worry. The Surron is so quiet compared to my E-Ride. It has a super quiet chain. It's got the stock belt drive on it. Oh, hold on. Yo. Did you import your car? You did? When did you get it? Okay, who'd you go through? I'm curious. It's beautiful.
Thank you.
It's like, I've never seen a JZX in the States, especially not this like clean. Yeah.
There's a lot here.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's a lot of white ones.
There's something about the 4 doors with like a 2J in it that's just like so cool. Or is it a 1J or 2J? 1J, okay, so awesome. Logan.
Logan, I'm V.
Hi V, it's nice to meet you.
Sorry, my hand is sweaty.
No, you're good, you're good. See ya, have a great day. Oh man, getting this thing up on the rear wheel is kind of tricky. My E-Ride, you just hit the throttle and it'll launch you backwards at any speed. Oh my God, R34? What the fuck? What is going on, dude? Is everyone importing their car these days? I gotta say, one thing I really miss about the Sur-Ron is the frame design. Sur-Ron got the frame perfect first try. In my opinion, it's by far the best looking e-moto that's ever been made, and it was the first one. E-Ride Pro's frame design has grown on me, but it's pretty chunky by comparison. This is sleek, it's slender, it's perfectly proportioned. It's just so like playful as a bike. Every new bike that's coming out seems like it's getting more and more and more powerful, but also getting more and more and more heavy. And I think the beauty of these bikes that Sur-Ron really did right is that it's super lightweight. When you start to lose that, you're just getting into like motorcycle territory, just like buy a motorcycle, you know? To me, the E-Ride Pro SS 2.0 and 3.0 still have that playfulness, but they're noticeably heavier than a Sur-Ron. If you get from one of those bikes onto a Sur-Ron, the Sur-Ron is noticeably flickier, or something. Is that a word? Yep. Yo! When I was in Austin about a month ago, I was chatting with Talon Pemberton, who's ridden every single bike and now is back on a 2025 Light B. And he says he likes the Light B for 2 reasons. Number 1, it's super light. He said it's just more fun because of that. And number 2, he made an interesting point. He said with all of his other bikes, he gets weird noises and things coming loose. Sur-Rons are pretty quiet and pretty dialed. Of course, you can, you know, break your jackshaft bearings or whatever, but every other bike, even bikes with gearboxes on them, seem to squeak and rattle way more than Sur-Rons. I don't know why that is, but that's been my experience too. Hi, can I please have a medium zero sugar Baja Blast?
All right, 0 and what else?
And that's it, thank you.
Welcome to the Baja Blast.
Dude, it's him again, our Baja Blast guy. Thank you very much. I think the other problem for Surron is that E-Ride Pro shares a lot of parts compatibility with Surron. And when it was just Surron and Talaria competing, Surron always had the benefit of having a much bigger aftermarket with a lot more modifications and a lot more support. When E-Ride Pro came around, it basically eliminated that advantage. And I wanted to try out that new platform and see if I could build up something that I actually liked to ride more than my Surron. And in a lot of ways, it worked. Someone asked me if I had to start over, what bike would I buy? And I think there's just kind of 2 answers depending on how the question is asked. If I was starting from scratch today, I would go with an E-Ride Pro SS 3.0. I know I've said it a million times, but there is no better bike per dollar than that bike on the market right now. However, if I was starting from scratch back when I originally bought Ronald, I don't think I'd do anything differently. The process of building this bike up, learning how to work on it, all of the people I met in the Surron community through this bike, and all of the money and time that I spent on this bike is not at all wasted. Like, I'm really glad that I did it the way I did it. Whoa. Because if I didn't, who knows where I'd be right now. Sometimes it's kind of scary to think about like how your life would have ended up if you made a slightly different decision at some random point, you know? Man, I do love this bike though. I should ride it more. I really should. I gotta say though, I'm really impressed by the suspension. This is a fork that I ripped off a crashed mountain bike. I sold all the other parts. I think the fork in total cost me like 250 bucks. And don't come for me, but I have never rebuilt it. But dude, it's dialed. And with the Fox DHX, I found that on Facebook Marketplace for like 150, put a new spring on it. And this is a float 40. I have not had to pump it up or put more air in it. I just set it to like 90 PSI or whatever, and I've left it there literally for a year and a half. It's been great. I do like my Reflosas better on my E-Ride Pro, but if you want to keep your bike really light, Fox 40s still rip, dude. Also, not to toot my own horn or whatever, but the other thing that's held up super well is the wrap. This is the first like final production version I ever put on. That was over a year ago. Dude, this thing has not budged. It's made out of the same material that Moto Graphics are, so it's super duper thick and super durable. I wasn't expecting it to last as well, but somehow it stayed glossy for over a year. Obviously, it's not invincible, but I'm really impressed with how well it's held up. And if you install it with a heat gun, like is recommended, this thing will stay on your bike and protect it forever. And it's still sparkly, dude.